understanding the representation of the various changes in the demand and supply and how they are affecting the demand. Now we have to understand the chain of effect. See what chain of effect means. It means the series of changes, or you can call it as adjustment mechanism. These adjustment mechanisms of the series of changes take place in the market whenever there is excess demand or excess supply. So it means chain of effect would take place whenever there is excess demand and whenever there is excess supply. Before discussing all these, first we have to understand that how the question in this particular chapter is framed. See, first you will be given a situation that the market is in equilibrium and these changes happen, means demand rises more than supply or supply rises more than demand. Such type of thing would be given to you. So you will make a diagram and then you will see whether it is leading to excess supply or excess demand. And numerically also I proved it yesterday, that also you can use that logic and can see, or you can judge that whether it is excess demand and or excess supply. Then in the second part of the question will contain that you have to write the chain of effects of that particular situation, whatever situation is taking place. We have already done that whenever there is excess demand in the market, the price tends to rise. This we did when we took the example of the book also, then also we saw it in all the diagram. We saw that whenever demand is more than the supply, the price tends to rise. Chain of effect tells us that how this happens, right? Chain of effect is simply, it will tell us that how this price is rising. So when we are writing the chain of effect, it would be in various points. For excess demand, the first point is, it is a situation where the buyers are willing to buy more than what sellers are willing to sell. Means first point is nothing, it is just the meaning of the situation, that where buyers are more and sellers are less. Sellers can't maintain the desired level of inventory or stock, because there is shortage of the product in the market, so constantly the sellers have to supply their stock or their commodity. Desired level of stock is the amount of goods or goods which the seller wants to keep with himself. Like for example, if you talk to a television seller, he would say that I would like to keep at least 20 pieces with me at every point of time, so that I can meet the demand in the market. So the sellers find it difficult to maintain this desired level of inventory, and there is a competition among the buyers. Remember, the competition among the buyer is to buy the commodity, or which buyer will be able to buy the commodity. Like we said that there are 10 copies of a book and 100 people want to buy it. So there is a competition that who would be those 10 people who would buy that, who will be able to buy that book. So it leads to pressure on the price to rise. Means the buyers are ready to pay a higher price for the commodity, or the price of the commodity slowly tends to rise. Now the rise in price leads to fall in demand. This is the law of demand, and rise in supply. This is the law of supply. Okay, now see, demand was more and supply was less. Now demand has started falling and supply has started rising. It means there will be again a point where they would become equal. So this happens till both demand and supply become equal and equilibrium is re-established, or you can say equilibrium is regained, but the new equilibrium is at a higher price, because the price has started rising in this point. So whenever you are asked to explain the chain of effects for excess demand, remember this you have to find out whether it is excess demand or excess supply with the help of the diagram and the logics which we have done to explain the changes numerically. After that, all these points need to be mentioned. First is the meaning, then the regarding the stock, then competition among the buyer, which leads to pressure on the price to rise. Rise in price leads to fall in demand due to the law of demand, and rise in supply, that is due to the law of supply. And this continues till both become equal and equilibrium is re-established, but new equilibrium will be at a higher price. This for excess demand. For excess supply, it is just the opposite. The first point would again be the meaning of the situation. Excess supply, it is a situation where sellers are willing to sell more than what buyers are willing to buy. Second, sellers have undesired inventory lying with them. Or you can say there is a stock of unsold goods lying with the seller which he doesn't want to keep with him, he wants to sell them in the market. Now there is a competition among the sellers now. Leading to fall in the price. See now in the previous situation the competition was among the buyer because buyers were more. This time the sellers are more. So this time competition is among the seller, that which seller will be able to sell off the commodity. So that's why the price tends to fall. And when the price falls, demand starts rising, that is law of demand, and supply starts falling, that is the law of supply. So again the same chain has started, demand starts rising and supply starts falling, and again this will continue till new equilibrium is established. Means again a point will come where demand and supply become equal, but this will be at a lower price. Okay, so these are the two chain of effects which you have to study, and you have to learn them and understand them in the proper manner, and remember that question will contain the chain of effect and one diagram. So first you have to make the diagram, understand what it is leading to. If you get confused in the exam, then what you can do is simply, suppose it is saying increase in demand more than increase in supply, so use that same concept numerically. Increase demand by 50, supply by 30 or whatever it is, and you will come to know whether it is excess demand or excess supply. And one more simple trick is there, that if after making the diagram your price is rising, it means every time it is excess demand, because price rises only in the excess demand. While after making the diagram, if you realize that the price is falling, so it will always be excess supply, right? This is the important concept, and the trick also I have told you, which you have to use. Then only you can get 6 out of 6 in the question. Okay, now we will move on to the discussion regarding the regulated markets. See, whatever we have done, these chain of effects, they can take place in the free market. Yesterday also I told you, free market is a market where there is no government intervention. But there are certain markets where the government also intervenes in between, and those type of markets are known as regulated markets. Regulated means controlled by the government. The main difference between the regulated market and the free market that you have come to know, here the government is intervening in between. But you also have to remember that in the free market there will never be excess demand or excess supply because of the operation of the chain of effects. Suppose there is a excess demand situation for some time, but after some time what will happen? Again the price will rise and excess demand will be eliminated through those chain of effects. Same for excess supply. But in the regulated market you may have the excess demand or excess supply because the chain of effect is not allowed to operate due to the government's intervention. We'll come to know how government intervenes. Government intervenes in a market in two ways. First is price ceiling and second is price flooring. See, as the name is telling you, ceiling means top, so fixing the maximum price for a commodity. Okay, it means that government has fixed a certain price and the price cannot go beyond this. This is known as price ceiling. Another concept is price flooring, that is setting the minimum price for a commodity. So if you have to define price ceiling, you can define it as it is the maximum price of a commodity imposed by the government, while price flooring is the minimum price of a commodity imposed by the government. Just look at the market equilibrium. See, suppose this 50 is the equilibrium price for a particular commodity, right? Now government wants to impose price ceiling. It means government wants to put a maximum price for this commodity. So you always have to remember that maximum price will always be below the equilibrium price, because there is no use of fixing the maximum price here. For example, if the government fixes the price ceiling at 60, there is no use. Already the product was being sold